What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Center Beacon. Back at long last. Been busy in my real lives. You don't care about that, though. All you care about is these damn videos. So let's talk about these videos. Hit up test server for the first time in quite some time. And they've kind of like released a series of revisions of the Dashbot. I covered that a while back in one of my previous videos. And now they have 3 iterations of the Dashbot. There's a light, medium, and a heavy, and I really like them. And so I got to play with them some this weekend. I'm going to talk to you more about that in a minute. They've also done some weapon balancing. They're trying to make Tolumbus's and some other weapons better. I think they're pretty good as is, but they're trying to like kind of pump them up a little bit. And the heavy weapon prototype, which I had preached for so long. Some people call it the heavy mallet. I called it the Reaper. They better name it that, but, you know, we'll see. It'll probably be called something not as cool, but they should listen to me. Not that they do, or anyone else. But that's available, and I played with that some, and we're going to talk about that as well. Now, so what I did here is I put in all of the details, because in the little slate that I just showed you, you know, it's kind of vague. Here's all the exact details. Feel free to pause and stare at that for hours and memorize it. But this is what we're doing. The important thing at the top, you can say it says Attention. They're doing everything at level 8 now. I imagine they probably did some sort of like research. You know, they probably sift through their data and say that, okay, the average level of weapons and bots for most players maybe is level 8. I'm kind of, you know, spitballing here, but they decided to dial test server back from max level. I'm sure it's probably been like this for a few weeks now, a month or whatever, but I haven't been on it. And so that's kind of new, so it's a little different. I mean, it should all be same. It all scales. Everybody's running at level 8, so it should be okay. So just bear in mind, if you haven't been caught up with test server like I haven't been, that you're not seeing max level stuff on test server anymore. It's all level 8. So increased damage there. You can see the little differences. And let's take a look at these bots. So I really like these. They're definitely giving off a like a Power Rangers vibe, you know, like where my Zord's at type thing. They're really bright. You know, they're kind of shiny. One thing I noticed graphically with the test server this weekend is the aspect ratio that it was delivered in was different. So it's why this video may look a little stretched or smooshed in some places. But here's the heavy. This is the Mark III. I really like this one. There's a little blurb about what he does. Basically, he just eats faces with the 3 mediums. The medium weapon slot is my favorite weapon slot. I feel like Orkans and Terrans are just money in the bank, particularly these days, as I'm sure you all have noticed. Terran's plasma is back to reigning supreme. You know, once upon a time, Terrans ruled the battlefield, then it kind of shifted to Orkans and, you know, Splash, and now I feel like it's back on plasma. But I love this thing. Physical shield, looks really mean, tough. Purple, not my favorite color choice, but I'm sure we'll get like a wardrobe change at some point. You know, they'll add a paint job or two. But really liking that. All on the same side of the bot. This is the medium. This thing was also pretty amazing. You know, it has that same dash ability, but the cooldown is less. I don't know, I threw Tolumbus's on here. I just wanted to check out the new mechanic for the firing mechanism. These fire continuously. I'm sure you're all aware of that. It's new to me. Not sure what's going on with like the colors, the light. The hanger is always like this when you preview these things. It's like all that sunlight spilling in, and it makes it where you can't almost see the fronts of like lightly colored bots. So that's why it looks like it's glowing. Good design, very Gundam Wing inspired maybe. Not that I know a lot about that, but I know some of y'all do. So I like this one too. Very solid platform. And this little sucker, you guys know if you've watched 2 or 3 of my videos, I'm always giving light bots a hard time, you know. But this thing is really nice too. Very quick. You can use that jump almost continuously. I think this is the one that's probably the closest to the original Dashbot that I showed you guys. And maybe I'll put like a link thing from about a month or so ago. When they started running this on Test Center. This, I believe, is kind of like that version. Very, very fast. He just skips all over the place. Not as fast as he once was. There's the cooldown there. You can't quite continuously dash. But really solid choice. The shoots. This whole like bot design revision thing that they're doing, I'm not the biggest fan of it. They want everything to look like, you know, like a Zord or something now. I'm kind of a fan of the old style. I wish they'd almost like bring back the classic models, because they look like something in between like where we are now and where we might be in like 20 years. You know, the old Gollum, you know, the old chutes, the old Gepard. Yeah, that's right, I said Gepard. But I figured I'd throw the chutes in there for fun, nostalgia. Here's the Fury. This is the Panda paint job that I would never use in real life, but I threw it on here just for fun. So this is the heavy Malot, or where we've ended up. Now, I really like the, you can see the shells in the back. Certain anti-aircraft guns in World War II used a similar magazine configuration to that, and you can actually watch those big shells feed down into the breech and, you know, and then get fired, and then the shell ejects. Unfortunately, I didn't see it, but I don't think they included, at least not yet, that particular animation. You get shell ejection, but you don't get where you see it feed, which I thought would be cool. The rest of that design I'm not crazy about, but we'll talk about it later. Rogatka. So, red and blue paint job on this thing, a little clownish, especially with the yellow little firing doors on the Orkans there. But they've continued to try to buff the Rogatka, and I'll discuss it when I covered in the video, the little clips that I shot of it. Can't go wrong with skulls. Someone was giving me a hard time on the comments. They were, you know, yelling at me for, I think they were teasing, but, you know, maybe they weren't. But they were yelling at me for how everything coming out now has a skull on it, you know, and my clan, 1,000 skulls, you know, it's kind of got a skull motif going on. But you're just going to have to deal with it, people, all right? Because that's what we're doing now. It's skulls. All future paint jobs will have skulls on them. And I've inked that contract with Pixonic, so I'm sorry. There's not going to be anything else. There's going to be no flowers. There will be nothing, just skulls, okay? So here is the light dash. Very quick, very nimble, very tiny cross-section on this thing. That's another thing, you know, kind of like a more like, you know, intermediate or advanced concept. But, you know, cross-section matters. You know, the smaller your profile of your bot, the harder it is to freaking hit the thing, you know? So that's what's really nice about this guy, is that he is, it's a lot of firepower, it's very mobile, in a tiny little package, and I'm liking this thing better than the Rogatka. I still, you know, we'll show the Rogatka here in a little while. That's a Griff. I couldn't figure. I thought, I was like, did they add another new bot? Like, was I out of the game that long? You know, busy with real life stuff. I've been playing, but I just haven't been recording. And I was like, this must be a new bot, but no, it's a Griffin. And he put the what are those things called? The Noricums on top, and I was like, really? Like, that's weird, you know, but it is test server and people do weird things. So, so here I am again. See how I skip out of that blast radius, you know? I mean, I eat some damage. I'm definitely taking, you know, some effects here, but if I didn't have that skip ability, it would have been over. So, and the two Terrans, I just love the Terrans. I think I have like 9 or 10 of these things on live. I know. I've got like 9 of everything that's like at level 9 type thing, because, you know, I get bored and I level stuff and just kind of haphazardly. But I love the Terrans. They've always been great. And some of you may remember way back in the olden times when they actually fired faster than they do now. They were nerfed. I think about 20 years ago. They received a pretty large nerf. And but the things, I mean, they used to unload the magazine so quick, it was absolutely incredible and devastating. And it was one of the few nerfs I actually agreed with, simply because it fired so damn fast that you would like try to track a target, and you'd end up 2 or 3 would sail through the air and miss your target because it's unloading so quickly. So by slowing it down, at least, you know, for my ancient self, I'm not that old, but it made it easier for me to hit things. So, and I like hitting things. So we'll get into that in another video. Anyways, here's the big boy. I'm really liking this thing. Very cool design. I love the physical shield. I'm liking the options that these things are presenting. I think this is really cool where, like, I'll show you in another clip later, but I think on the medium I threw a ECU shield on there. I know. It's crazy, you know, sacrifice firepower for a shield. But you could have 2 physical shields on either side of this thing, you know, and still have 2 Terrans. That's a hell of a lot of firepower. And just, there's a lot of little neat options being presented with these new bots. And here I'm just kind of chilling, using cover. I got my bro here. I think he's in maybe the medium one or something. And we're just kind of holding it down in the middle. I like the profile of these cannons. You know, they all sit on one side, so you can get down behind a piece of cover here. You want to stay to the right, you know, obviously, of your cover. And just eat some faces. Really fun. You know, the dash ability, the cooldown is, you know, kind of ponderous. You know, you're not going to be zipping around with this thing like you do with the light one. But it's, you know, makes up for it in firepower as well as durability. If some... Oh, I'm getting a text. Rookie mistake, not turning phone off. Some of these things, they in the video, like, you might notice that it gets choppy. Unfortunately, it's probably my wife. Unfortunately, the test server, it's done this to me before, and I don't know if y'all experienced it. It's kind of neither here nor there, but it explains why the video chops at some points. They had some serious, like, slowdown. Like, I don't know if it was like a memory issue. I play all this on a Shield K1 tablet, so it has plenty of horsepower. But it slowed down at one point recording these videos to where it was like, 2 or 3 frames a second. It was ridiculous. And I've experienced that before on test servers, so I assume that was part of it. But here's the Rogatka. And this is kind of what I was saying. Like, I get what they're doing. I appreciate it. They've sped it up. I think they added some hit points. Now, see that one little burst that ate like a third of my health off of this thing? There's still something to be said for the class of the bot and the damage mitigation that it possesses inherently. And not to blow anybody's minds, but I mean, I've kind of had Pixonics like quasi-confirm it, but it seems that like the lighter the bot, the more damage it takes from the same amount of damage being dealt. And so I've always noticed with the Rogatka that he's so squishy. Like a Griff is squishy, but it's not just the hit point difference. There seems to be a certain level of mitigation in the class of the bot. So it just doesn't take damage the same way. When I run my Griffs, you can get caught with plasma all day long, but they just don't get eaten quite as quickly as that Rogatka. I know it has fewer hit points, but that thing disappears fast. So here is the token shoots. I just thought this would be fun. I saw this guy around the corner, and I was like, hey, maybe I would like shock him to death with like, this. He would give me like, a few seconds. He would pause and be like, oh my god, what is that? I've never seen that bot before, but it didn't work. So here are my babies. Here are my Reapers. You better call it that, Pixonic, or I'll send you a strongly worded email, or maybe an Instagram. That would be even more deadly. But so I like the firing mechanic. I love the little action there. The barrels, they've incorporated this like, my barrels are heating up, bro. With all the ballistic weapons like that. So it's pretty cool. I wish you could see that. You can kind of see the shells feed, and it's cool how like the receivers of the cannons like lock back, and then you get a new magazine in, and then it kind of like pushes forward. So really cool mechanics there. It'd probably be too graphically intense, but I wish you could see the shells kind of like feed in. See how they just sit there statically? In obviously real world, those would like feed in. Oh, there they do. Oh, they do. They deplete. I didn't notice that before. Oh, they go up. Oh, that's amazing. See, we all learn things from watching my videos, including myself, because I didn't realize that was actually, I was looking for them to feed down, and they're actually feeding up. Oh, I'm loving that. Oh, I'm just gonna have to take a break. You guys just hang tight while I just enjoy that cool. Oh yeah, look at what they do there. See, they feed into the side. That's even more detailed than I thought it was. That is really impressive. So kudos to whatever intern or master designer did that. Maybe they pawned that off on an intern, and maybe that was like his raise for the week or something. He got a bonus. Got a case of vodka for that, but that is really hot. I'm liking that. But what I wanted to talk to you about on this point, I think I had a stupid name, by the way. I hate it when people type in like GGJK, GGG, XYZ. Anyways, you can see that was very ineffective. That's actually a stalker with 2 ECUs. And talking about cross-section earlier, the profile of those bots are so small that not much of what I was firing at him actually hit him, and what did was absorbed by those ECUs. But still, it was almost impossible to take that guy out with this thing. So, I found in my testing, it sounds like I'm, wearing like a white coat in a laboratory, but I found in my testing that, shoot larger targets with this bad boy. Don't mess with the smaller cross-section, the stalkers, maybe like a Gepard or whatever it is. Stick to something bigger with some meat on the bone and chew those bad boys up. But you can see, it's pretty effective. It was burning off shields. That 800-meter range is great. And I think this is going to be another weapon. You can see depleting that guy there. I think this is going to be another weapon that's really going to kind of give Fury Trident drivers something else to think about, as if it already hasn't kind of become the case on live. And but I'll save that for another video. But I was really liking this thing. Obviously, these taller shields. In the last couple months they updated this map. These taller shields are really nice for kind of hiding behind these suckers, using them as cover. Here comes the Purple Ranger. And, he's going to get in there and get some with those Terrans. And I'm just going to kind of use him as a shield because he's got his shield there. And that's what it's all about, people. Teamwork. While, you know, slaying bodies in pretty awesome bots. So I'm kind of excited. I was, you know, like I said, this is my first test server in a while. There's that guy again. It's a stalker with 2 ECUs. It takes a special kind of person to play that bot, I think. Someone very special. Can't get him. I'm shooting over him. There he is. I'm trying to get him. Got a little there. ECUs are saving him. But he was fun. But yeah, I you know, I hadn't run one of these in a while. I'm kind of liking these changes, and I'm going to show you at the end of this video the long-awaited, long-anticipated, much sought-after moon map. I hadn't seen it since the early iterations, where it was like black and white. It looked like you were, you know, having a battle on like a panda's like back or something. You know, that you could, it looked like, you know, it looked more like Hoth than the moon. But I guess Hoth was a moon, though, if you think about it. I'm not sure I can even talk about Star Wars because I'll be sued by whoever owns it now. But there's me shooting some more red guys there. Little Dashbot tries to dash out of the way, just eats some more damage. Pretty effective, pretty awesome. Really digging this thing. And there, let me see, I don't know if this clip goes any longer, but maybe I was talking over it, but I was trying to show you how he eats energy shields. I think I talked over it. Silly me. Anyways, Lightbot, no, I'm sorry, this is the medium. This is the Mark II, the one that looks like Gundam Wing something. It's got those little, like, those are canards. That's like an aviation thing, and you can look it up and Google it and spend hours with it. But those little canards on his legs. So I put an ECU on this thing. Don't make fun, okay, because you'll hurt my one feeling. But I thought it'd be kind of cool, you know, almost like a smaller, more mobile, agile, you know, version of the big one. That's what's cool about the 3 medium spots on these Mark IIIs and Mark IIs. And there I got a partner with a light one, so that's 4 Terrans. And ooh, it's a pesky Gareth, or what I like to call an ankle biter. Those things are everywhere on live. I refuse to run one. I'm just not going to do it. So annoying. But kudos to y'all who make that thing work. I know he can be very effective. But so I'm just trying to put his shield down. Those things, you know, they don't have the hit points that like the Galahad does. So if you shoot at them enough, their little shield will fall off there, and then he'll be like, you know, like a little gremlin without any clothes on. I'm gonna move on from that. I'm not gonna spend any more time on wherever that was going. There's the shield. There it goes. So now he's just got his 1 Terran. Ha, pathetic. I have 2 in his Magnum, and I'm gonna shoot him. And he should go away here in a second. And see, there's that dash ability. What's so cool about these things that some, you know, these other bots that we have, you know, pre-existing, they don't have that ability, man. I mean, you might get out of the way of his last round as he fires and he empties that Terran. You avoid the damage and then you finish him off. That's what's so cool about the dash function. You know, it's not quite a jump. You know, the jump, you know, guys can track that type thing, but the dash is so rapid and it happens, so, you know, so quickly, like, you know, laterally. That means side to side. In English, and you know, it's a really cool feature. So there I am. See, you see the splash smoke over there, but I'm over here. So damage over there, but now I'm over here, and this guy's suffering. This was an ill-advised jump right there. That was probably not. You probably if you had that one to do over, probably do it differently. And there's a nice squishy pattern. You know, and I'm going to continue to use the corner of the moon base and just and kind of like look around. I was looking at killing that guy, but you can see. That's my home planet in the background. I think that's Earth. That's where I come from. In the comments, if you guys want, post your home planets. I don't know like where you all hail from, but I think that one's mine back there, possibly. So kind of cool. You know, I thought this map was great. Really like the contrast. I thought the textures were really great on this. You can see the faded painting there, the detailing. The moon soil looks really good. And that kind of like nebula, really dark sky it's really different, really cool. And the other thing cool about this, and I can put another link to like when I covered this when it was in its very early state, that you guys can go back and look at if you want. Maybe you didn't see that. I don't know. Maybe you started playing like yesterday, like me. But I really like the symmetry of this map. It's almost, I think it's a perfect mirror. So this is going to make for some. I'm using my ECU shield. That's what I'm doing there. I think it's going to make for some really fun, you know, even matches because it's a mirror. Everybody gets the same thing, whichever side you start on, there's only 2 spawns. At least there was when I was playing this a month or 2 ago. But I think it's still the same. But it's a perfect mirror, so, you know, I think it'll make for some really cool things. So here I'm just kind of going to explore with my Rogaka, with its official 1,000 skulls paint job. I'm just kidding. It's not official. I'm going to shoot that guy in the rear end there, and then I'm going to be like, haha, see you, bro. See that? So, nimble, agile, you got the jump. You can get up to places other bots can't. I still don't see the Rogatka having a real solid place in max level play. You know, at least, I don't know, not in my hangar. I know, so I'll have people comment. They'll be like, oh man, I run in gold all the time, and I run 9 of them, and I get 9 million damage, and that's great. I just, for my play style, I think the thing is way too squishy, which probably means I'm a bad player, but that's okay. It's a hobby. It's not like I get paid. So that's about it for the moon map. You can kind of see, you know, the really, really nice, man. I really like the layout of this thing, and like I said, the graphics are great. I'm going to come over here with my bro in the Lance and shoot some more peoples and cap a beacon real quick. But then there's the Zeus. I'm going to get out of the way of the damage. There goes my jump. And then there's the Mark 1, the little, like the little chicken bot. Kind of like a chicken, I think. I think the things in the back are like feathers. I think they took a chicken and modeled it after, you know, like a fowl. I mean, you can't go wrong for a model like that. So that's it for covering that test server. Oh, here's my assistant, Natasha. Let's see what she has to say. Things have been going really well on the channel, so I hired an assistant. And I think she's telling you to maybe subscribe. Or tell your friends. Don't tell your family. They won't understand. But, you know, tell a friend, subscribe, look at some more videos. And thanks, Natasha. That was helpful. So that's it. We covered a lot there in a short amount of time. But I'm back at it. Back at the stick. Back at the wheel. Back in the wheelhouse. This is my wheelhouse. And I'm going to do some more videos. I got another one that I'm working on. Going to do a Butch Fury comparison. As you guys know, I don't put out stuff like every day, not even sometimes every week. There's plenty of channels to, you know, 1.2 million damage on Shinzen. There's plenty of guys that can show you that. I do things a little bit differently, so you'll have to forgive my sometimes erratic upload schedule. But as always, I will see you next time at the Center Beacon.